like right now. Cool. Let's do some case studies. Student records. So we have enrollment from official university enrollment records and a survey. Student provided information. Now, this information includes missing students who never filled it out, as well as students who filled it out but dropped the class. So we want a survey for all those enrolled in our class. How do we do it? Here's a little sneak peek. We've got a tibble in enrollment and a survey of a tibble of 4x3 and a survey. How would you do it? Left join gives us survey, and we can also tell it what we want to join by if that's helpful. So here we can we're joining by ID. I tend to recommend doing that because it's a little faster. So here we've left joined enrollment with survey. So we can see here that our 3 students who are enrolled, 2 of them have completed our survey. You'll also notice in the naming that we have a name.x and a name.y. Here, their names are slightly different, and that information might be useful to keep. If we had only kept names in the Y version, so in the survey, we'd never have date Friday, and we'd only have first names. So even variables with the same name might not contain the same information. So it's good to be careful about how you join. So here with anti-join, we can see whose data is missing, and that's day Friday. We can also see that Peter and Mark dropped this class by anti-joining enrollment from survey by ID. Case study 1, done. Case study 2, grocery sales. So here's what we have. We have purchases, and this is 1 row per customer per item, and that lists all the purchases they made. We have another data frame of prices, which is 1 row per item in the store, listing prices, and we want total revenue. How do we go about this? Here's a sneak peek. We can see that we've got prices in our prices tibble and purchases in our purchases tibble. And yeah, okay. So if we left join prices from purchases, we can create a new data frame that captures all the prices for each series of purchases. So we can know how much milk costs, and that gives us kind of a combined full data set, and then we can summarize our total revenue by adding everything up by doing summarize of price. Now, if there had been a quantity here, you'd want to multiply that and you'd plop that in. Excuse me. So these can get really complicated really fast, but at least in this way, you can see what is happening by having the data kind of flow from purchases to prices to summarize. Now, we can also break this down by customer. So we're still joining purchases to prices, but before we summarize, we're going to group it first by customer ID. And when we group by and then summarize, we get total revenue by customer rather than just all of total revenue, which could be useful if we wanted to know how much each customer did, and we could also take the average from these and do all those too. So there's lots of stuff you can do. So yeah, that's it for joining. Joining takes a lot of practice. I tend to have to look it up all the time. But that's it for this module. At least this time I'm shooting it. I'll see y'all later. Bye.